let's get comfy. Do you have your coffee? Do you have everything that you need so we can chit chat? Welcome back to my channel. I just thought we'd sit, have a cup of coffee or tea or wine or whatever it is that you like to drink and just have a little chit chat. Hello, sir. I also had a questionnaire on Instagram. I told you guys to ask me a few questions and I'm gonna answer those. And yeah, just let's have a good time. So just a few life updates. I got married. Oh, hang on. I got married. Got married in June in Cyprus. We had a civil marriage and then we came back to Lebanon, and like a couple of weeks later we had a wedding party. And that was nice. Yes, I'm a married woman now. Other than that, we have 2 cats together, Margot and Robbie. My sister moved to Dubai. Most of my friends, if not all of my friends, have moved. I'm renovating the house. We're renovating the house. A couple of months ago, I think maybe, I don't remember. Not this vlog, not the vlog that I uploaded before this, the one before, I filmed myself going to the psychiatrist to change medication. And maybe let's give you an update on that. The transition has been smoother than I ever thought it could possibly be. I was very scared, to be honest, because the first time I ever switched from one medication to the other, that was not nice. It was not a nice experience. But this time around, it was good. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty of it and answer some questions. I have them here on my laptop. I got them here, so I'm just gonna put them here, I guess. What's one thing about marriage that surprised you the most? I want to say how secure you feel once you're actually married. I was secure in my relationship when we were in the dating phase, when we were in the engaged phase, but it's like, that's Stella, the neighborhood dog. As I was saying, I was very surprised by the sense of like something just came full circle. Like you've completed, I don't want to say completed yourself because it's not like you were incomplete and then you got married and now you're whole again. What I'm trying to say is it just felt like I thought I knew what being secure in my relationship was before, but this is a whole other level. So that was something that honestly surprised me. I was not expecting that. Are there any books you wish you'd read earlier in life? If so, why? I don't think that there's a book that I've read that I went like, oh, I wish, oh wait, maybe. Yeah, I think the Divergent series, but they weren't out when I was a kid. They just made me feel very dauntless, for lack of a better word. If you know, you know. I think the Divergent series, they're more catered to young adult, obviously. I read them when I was in my early 20s. And they really helped me through a lot of tough times. But I think maybe if I had read them as a teenager, I think they would have impacted me a lot more. I'm not sure, because I was very different as a teenager. I don't think I would have picked up those books. If you could live in the world of any novel for a week, which book would you choose and why? Ooh. Well, considering the books that I read are not like the most serene ones, if you had asked me maybe a couple of years ago, no, let's not say a couple of years ago. If you had asked me like 7 years ago or 8 years ago, I would have said, oh, I think I would go for like Divergent again, but no. I don't think I'd be hopping off of anything. No trains will be hopped on or off. No buildings will be jumped off. No. If you had asked me way before, I would have said something like, oh, Harry Potter. Wait, yeah, no, I would still say Harry Potter, I think. Because, I mean, I don't have to be with Harry because, I mean, he's getting himself into a lot of trouble. I'd just be like, you know, a Hufflepuff near the kitchens and just doing my magic and doing my magic homework and having my wand. So I think that, or an Emily Henry book. That I like, yeah. Chef's kiss, love her. In what era do you wish to have been born? Again, if you had asked me this way before, like when I was taking my literature courses, I would have said in the 1920s, in the roaring 20s. Right now I would say I'm happy to be born in this era. Because of the medical development, I would not trade that for anything. And I would say, because this is gonna bleed into the next question that I'm gonna answer, but you'll see why. Okay, it's because we get art like the following. And now I'm gonna show you what I mean. What's your comfort show? And this is why I'm so glad to be living in this era. It is Arcane. Right now it's Arcane, and it is The Haunting of Hill House. Anything by Mike Flanagan, but mainly The Haunting of Hill House. He has come out with other things, but to me, it's just a soft spot. Arcane is a masterpiece. It's 2 seasons, 9 episodes. 9 episodes each. I just wish they had more, because to be living in a time when such artistry has been created, this love of the craft so beautifully shown on screen, I am so lucky to be living in a time when I get to watch Arcane. And as for Haunting of Hill House, yeah, the same. It is a masterpiece. It is a beautiful... Even I got a tattoo because of how much I love Haunting of Hill House. This is the door from Haunting of Hill House. I would say those 2 are my comfort shows, and they're sad and they're emotional and they're heartbreaking, and I don't think I'm hyping this up as I should. It's cathartic, amazing storytelling. It's just so satisfying, like digging into a gourmet burger with, those are my comfort shows. And Brooklyn Nine-Nine, there we go, we sprinkled in some comedy. Brooklyn Nine-Nine, comfort show, always and forever. What's one thing marriage has taught you about yourself that you didn't know before? It's taught me quite a few things. Very honestly, my now husband and I have been living together for the past 3 years. And I'm so glad that we did, because we got to learn a lot about each other and a lot about ourselves through how we dealt with each other, living in the same house for days on end. It's not that I didn't know anything about me before. It's an as-you-go kind of thing. It's a very nice unlocking of small features within you as you go. But I think that the next question would kind of explain more. So hang on. How do you handle conflicts and difficult discussions to keep your relation strong and healthy? Before, I used to say that communication is key, which it is, but also, comprehension is key. If the person in front of you is not understanding what you're saying and where you're coming from, your communication is just gonna be for nothing, because they're not getting what you're saying. Communication and comprehension are not the same thing, and that they have to go hand in hand. I used to tell my husband before, like the first couple of months when we first started dating, because we're not playing around, we're not kids. I used to tell him that, you know what, in 3 months, like let's say we're in the beginning of our stage, in 3 months, let's have kind of like a meeting, like how do you have a probation period at work? It's the same thing. Let's discuss the pros and cons, the perks and the peaks and the pits of how things are going. And we wouldn't nitpick, because at the end of the day, we're both human, we're living in the same house. We just focused on what really matters in a relationship. If the trust is there, if the communication and the comprehension is there, if the humor is there, and if we are goal-oriented in the same way, then the little stuff, I won't say it doesn't matter, because it does, but it won't matter as much. There's a bigger picture that's going on. I truly love how we've handled our relationship so far. We've been together for 4 years, and 4 years, wow, 4? Oh my! I keep looking over there because that's the couch that we sit on and we have our discussions. We have maybe every few months we sit down and we talk, and I never keep anything inside. My husband is not the type of person who has always opened up or spoken about his feelings and what he's thinking and what he's going through. Something that we both practiced. I had to practice being his type of safe space, because I always thought that, oh, anyone can come and talk to me. But no, you have to be a certain type of safe space for this person. This one is a long one. This one was a DM. And I think I should end on this one because, yeah. Do you ever feel the imposter syndrome? You have a great job, you're married, you've published a book, etc. Do you ever feel like you're going through the motions, that you're just a little kid inside and you do not give yourself enough credit to the woman who is accomplishing all of these things, that she is still just a child? Imposter syndrome is alive and well. I had a mini discussion with the person who sent me this, and I'm like, that is something that my mom and I talk about a lot. And my mom tells me I feel like I'm a child sometimes and I have no idea what I'm doing. And my mom raised 2 children and she's done it mostly alone. She still thinks that she has no idea what she's doing and that the world knows something that she doesn't. And I think everyone goes through that. And yeah, I do feel like I'm sometimes a child and I'm playing house, or like I'm playing as a wife. I'm acting as a wife. I'm acting as a published author. It's just something that someone's gonna discover that I'm not good at. I have these couple of things that I do where I'm like, okay, if my mom feels that, then she's not the only adult who feels that. And I can't be the only adult who feels that, because I don't think any emotion or any feeling or any thought is unique. Someone out there has thought about these thoughts. Someone has had this thought plague them for like, I don't know how long or how often or how debilitating it's been. So I think that's comforting, knowing that I'm not the only one. You know how sometimes you tell someone who's giving a speech, oh, imagine everyone naked? I'm not telling you to imagine anyone naked, but I'm telling you to imagine, like, let's say you're in the workplace. I would imagine everyone as a child. To anyone who's watching from my workplace, I'm sorry, but you'll see what I mean. I would imagine like everyone is a kid and we're all kids playing in this adult world. And then I would be like, you know what? Yeah, everyone is kind of building themselves up from there, and everyone is learning, and not everyone knows everything. Again, I don't know if that's making sense, because in my mind, it's making a lot of sense. I don't know if it's translating well to what I'm saying. I imagine people as children, because at the end of the day, life is too important to be taken seriously. I think that's an Oscar Wilde quote, but I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I'll insert it down here just to see if he said that. And another thing, I do remind myself of my qualifications. For example, I would say, but you studied literature. You kind of have the degree to prove it, that you are an author. And then, for example, at my job, I'm a copywriter. So I think sometimes, I even mentioned this one time in a workshop to my colleagues, I sometimes feel like I am grading myself and I always come up as a B-, and I feel like I can do better. And then I think that there's a reason you're hired. There's a reason they like you. They like your work. And again, it goes back to you are qualified. If that small mantra that I go through helps me, then great. Anyway, guys, that is going to be it for me. I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please like it and subscribe to my channel. If you have any other questions, if you like this format of video, let me know. Other than that, I will quit my yapping, and I hope you enjoyed our little sit down, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!